Nate, do you know what time it is?
Oh, I believe it's good Shabbos time.
It's good Shabbos time.
We need Greg.
Okay, we got a special for our opening. Right, Max, we got a special for our opening, don't we? Put your hands together.
Don't you worry about what's on your mind, oh people. I'm in no hurry, I can take my time, oh woman. God picked me up and won't let me down, won't let me down. We can have fun being sober now, now. Well, cha-cha-cha, oh my. Let's spend Shabbat together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend Shabbat together now. Oh, come on, people.
Let's spend Shabbat together.
I feel so strong now I can't disguise. So baby,
Let's spend Shabbat together.
no, I just can't apologize. No,
Let's spend Shabbat together.
God picked me up, won't let me down, won't let me down. We can have fun being sober now, now, now. Oh,
Let's spend Shabbat together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend Shabbat together now.
let's spend Shabbat together. Now I need you more than ever. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, you know I'm diving in, baby. Off to the side, baby. The Sabbath bride, baby. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend Shabbat together. Let's spend Shabbat together now. Oh, yeah, come on, people.
Let's spend Shabbat together.
Doesn't happen to me every day. Oh no,
Let's spend Shabbat together.
no excuses offered anyway, baby.
Let's spend Shabbat together.
God picked me up and He won't let me down, won't let me down. We can have fun being sober now, now, now. Oh,
Let's spend Shabbat together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend Shabbat
together now. Oh, mama, mama.
Let's spend Shabbat together.
I need you more than ever.
Let's spend Shabbat together.
Just one more time. Come on.
Let's spend Shabbat together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend Shabbat together now.
Greg Sutton.
All right, Greg.
Greg Sutton, let's hear it for Greg. Greg Sutton. Okay, we're going to continue with Bim Bom. A little bit of a come down, but oh no.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam.
shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Come on, let me hear you. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
A person entirely unconcerned with his self is dead. A person exclusively concerned with themselves is a beast. The mark of distinction from the beast, as well as the index of maturity, is the tridimensionality of humans' concern. The child becomes human not by discovering the environment, which includes things and other selves, but by becoming sensitive to the interests of other selves. Human is one who is concerned with other selves. A vital requirement, Rabbi Heschel goes on to say, is transitive concern, a regard for others in addition to a reflexive concern, an intense regard for itself. The shift from the animal to the human dimension takes place when, as a result of various events, such as observing other people's suffering, falling in love, or by being morally educated, one begins to acknowledge the other selves as ends, to respond to their needs even regardless of personal expediency. It's an act of de jure or even de facto recognition of other human beings as equal, as a result of which we become concerned with their concern. What is of importance to them becomes vital to us. I picked this out because, of course, this is Thanksgiving weekend. And what better way to show our gratitude to God, show our gratitude to others, than becoming concerned with the interests of others? We live in a world where me. We live in a world that's transactional. We see it in our politics. We see it in our Black Friday. Harriet and I went shopping today. There was a big sale on Joseph Ribicoff at Alley in the Valley. $10 and $20 for everything. So, of course, had to go. And watching people grabbing and pushing and elbowing, and it's all transactional. And that transactional living is exactly what Rabbi Heschel is railing against. There are a lot of things that have to happen in this world. There's things that we do not because we want to, but really because it's just called for. When somebody here uses and it's determined that we can't help them, we have to ask them to leave. And in asking them to leave, we look for a place for them to go to. There's been times when we've paid money for people to have a safe place because the interests of another have to be our concerns. There's times when people have had to be let go because of budgetary reasons. We do what we can to make it as soft as possible. That doesn't stop resentment. It doesn't stop anger or anything. And yet we know that their concerns have to be ours. So in living in a world where we make this shift, in fact, I would say that the Declaration of Independence that says that humans are endowed with certain unalienable rights is about the concern of others. As a country, we haven't done it always well, yet that's the light. That's the beacon. That's the call. As Jews, that's the whole reason for our existence, is because God said someone has to care about another. The first temple was destroyed because the people were not treating widows and orphans well. Second temple, according to our Midrash, was destroyed because of senseless hatred. When you live a life where the concerns of others are of vital interest to you, there is no such thing as senseless hatred. There is no such thing as treating someone else poorly. There's only about how to be kind, how to be compassionate, how to live life with grace, with gratitude. See, a lot of people think gratitude is you can express it in words. It sounds nice. But really, gratitude's an action. So, when somebody's hurting and you go and you help them, just by reaching out, just by saying hello. When you walk down the street, which I do, and say hello to everybody, you're acknowledging the vital interest of people's need to be noticed. We've forgotten that. These words, by the way, were published in 1955. Today is November 22nd, 2018. 55 years ago, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated because at least one person didn't care about the concerns of the country, the concerns of a family, the concerns of a human being. It was a watershed moment in my life. Changed everything. We, in recovery, our recovery is based on our ability to make the concerns of others, the interests of others, vital to us. I pray that that's what Beit Tshuva is taught. I pray that's what we teach. I pray that you see that that's how we live. We have many people who have done that. That's why Reb Meir says, because of one person's tshuva, the entire world endures. All of us have the opportunity. I beg you, I plead with you. From this day forward, make the concerns of others a vital interest of yours. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with a nigun. A nigun is a wordless melody. So as you can see on the screens, blow out the schmutz of the week and breathe in the joy of Shabbos. On page 7 or on the screens. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharim, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Mimelech, Malachei Amachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'ochem leShalom, Malachei Yashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Mimelech, Malachei Amachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei, Shalom, Malachei, Elyon. Mimelech, Mimelech, Malachei, Amnachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem, Shalom, Malachei, Shalom, Malachei, Elyon. Mimelech, Mimelech, Malachei, Amnachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Okay, on the screens, we have Shiru Ladonai.
Yes.
We're going to. There we go. We can do it the way we talked about it, Nathan?
What are we talking about?
We're starting with Lilas. Yeah, we're doing it a different way.
ישועתו, שפרו לאדוני בכל המינים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. לי 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 לי
You gotta love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need Mamie, Sophia, Kobe, Tony R, and Jonathan G. So this is this is a time for tzedakah. I don't know what happened. Tzedek in our tradition means righteousness. So this is not about charity. But this really is about the interests of others. So what happens is that we are able to defray some of the costs involved in Beit Tshuva. We use this money to help the residents learn how to have fun and sobriety. And it's about you knowing that you have a seat at the table. There's no amount that you have to give. People give a dime, a dollar. I am looking for the person who stands up and says, I'll give $1 million, just so you know. I thought I would throw that out. But really what it is that we're all part of a community. And whenever one person in the community needs help, we all have to rush in. That's what tzedakah is. That's what righteousness is. And then from there we go to tshuva. So tshuva I've been talking about tshuva at Beit Tshuva for 30 years. This is the week of my 30th anniversary of working at Beit Tshuva. I have one. And I keep trying to think of what can I say new about tshuva. And I can't think of anything. So for all of you who've never been here, for all of you who consider yourselves non-addicts, in other words, all of you who are still in denial, tshuva is the gift that God gave to us. Tshuva is the gift of imperfection. Tshuva is what tells us that we're not Greeks, that we're different. We're not a civilization that needs to be right and fight to the end to be right. Actually, tshuva is the statement that Judaism and of Judaism, that acknowledging when we make a mistake is acknowledging God's grace. God set up a space of grace for us. Chen v'chesed, grace and kindness. And that grace and kindness is stop trying to be right all the time. Stop defending and defending. Stop when someone says something, have to say the opposite. Because that says that you're not human. It's actually a statement of rejection of God's grace. God graced us with the power of tshuva, with the path of tshuva, that we could be grateful and we can acknowledge when we're not and when we've made mistakes. So, as someone who makes mistakes, I know how important tshuva is. And we do tshuva out loud. So we still have somebody pick somebody. Medina, you're supposed to handle the microphone. So anybody who's got an amend to make or gratitude to give, now's your time.
Hi, my name is Ron Gabler, a grateful member of this community. 10 years ago, my wife Elisa and I came here not knowing what to expect for our son, Danny. And here we are 10 years later, and Danny has really achieved a great deal and is achieving a great deal every day, and has a beautiful wife, Allie, who is also a member of the community. And we're grateful for all the things that Bet Teshuvah has done for our family, for Danny, for Allie, and we love you guys very much.
My name is Shelley. I am an alcoholic. I love your suit, Rabbi. It's fabulous. Thank you. So the drash that you read about before from Rabbi Joshua Heschel was phenomenal. Since I'm an alcoholic, I cannot control my emotional nature. And I'm prey to misery and depression. And the only thing that gets me out is exactly what he said, not to think of yourself and think of others. And last Friday night, after 1 week of being miserable, there was a gentleman that I'd seen at a meeting that I saw over here, and I started talking to him, and both our spirits were lifted. So the theory that he had still works till today, and I'm very, very grateful for my experience that I was able to come here and turn out of misery. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jeremiah. I'm a grateful resident and member of this community. I just got back about 15 minutes ago. Went up to Bakersfield to meet new people in my life, and it was a blessing. And anyways, I just want to say I'm grateful that tomorrow I'll have 4 years sober and 11 months without a bet. And I'm grateful for everyone here, Rabbi Mark and Harriet, and sisterhood and the donors and everybody, residents. And I just want to be grateful that this Thanksgiving, I wasn't in a casino away from family and stuff. So I'm grateful for that, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Zach Holland, and I'm a happy alcoholic and a member of this community. All right. Yesterday morning, I got woken up by a phone call from my son, who's an OTC officer training corps in the Navy back east in Providence, Rhode Island. And he called me up to wish me a happy Thanksgiving. In the process of the call, he told me about the fact that he's reading a Bible. And I said, why are you reading the Bible? You're an atheist. He says, not anymore, Dad. And I said, I've gotten really friendly with the chaplain who teaches here. As a matter of fact, I and 5 of my friends are going to go over to his house for Thanksgiving dinner. I said, really? And what did you find in the Bible? He says, I'm up to Exodus. I said, you realize you're reading the Torah? He says, no. I said, you realize it now? He says, yeah. And I said, and how is everything going for you? He says, well, they keep saying something about God's time, and I remember you kept saying those kind of things to me. I said, when did it occur to you that there might be a God? He says, when I saw you get bar mitzvah over at Beishuva. So I am grateful to this entire community, everything it stands for, and the people who stand for it, who have enriched my life in ways that I had never have dreamed. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Good Shabbos. I'm David. I'm a grateful member of this community. And I've been thinking the last few weeks about really how grateful I am to be a part of this place. And I don't specifically tell the two of you often enough how grateful I am for the opportunity you've given me to be here. I try to show you by what I do and by what I give here. But you know, I was thinking about it. You know, Thanksgiving's the holiday of gratitude, as we all know. And I was thinking 9.5 years ago, Avi Reichenthal dragged me here to my first service. I was about as low as I had ever been in my life. And honest to God, I don't know what would have become of me if I hadn't landed here. My experience here has changed my understanding of myself. It's profoundly affected the way I look at my profession, psychiatry. It's so profound. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we had a young medical student in here. I think you both remember her. And I asked her what she'd been here for a few days, and she said, well, I said, what do you think of this place? And she says, you know what? This is still a medical school. She hasn't started a residency yet or anything. She said, when I get done, I want to come to work in a place like this. I mean, that's the highest compliment you're going to get. And what's so wonderful is that, you know, the medical students who've come through here, the psychiatry residents and addiction fellows that have come here, get to see something, get to see a part of medicine, addiction treatment that they have no chance of finding anywhere else. I mean, there's no way that any of us who provide supervision to these young doctors would have any way of transmitting the understanding and the experience of what goes on here. I mean, this place is miraculous. You know, there was an article in the New York Times the other day by David Brooks, and basically he was saying it's all about tshuva. I mean, that the whole post-traumatic stress disorder, what has to happen to these poor souls, and you know, the vast majority of people here are profoundly traumatized. I mean, what we need are institutions that provide tshuva. You know, as I'm looking through, so I was looking at some articles today on addiction medicine, and the focus was on treatment utilizing other opioids and so forth. And so while that's important, you know, in terms of sometimes saving lives, I mean, that's important, but the whole rest of what goes on and what makes people whole, unfortunately, for the most part, isn't touched by most of these things. So I'm grateful to you too. I don't tell you often enough, but just wanted to say that tonight. Thanks.
I'm David, grateful recovering member of this congregation in Slaw. It's good to be here. I'm very grateful for the tools of recovery that I've been blessed to have. This past week has been weird, out of my element, because I've got the week off, and that's the blessing, but not if you're an addict with idle time. That can be, it's a blessing in a disguise. I'll put it like that. Because, you know, I desire to use my idle time for all sorts of crazy acting out stuff, and I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not doing that because I've had meetings to go to. I've had friends to see and be of service to. I've been of service to my grandmother a lot, and a couple sponsees, and I've been going to meetings. And, you know, I've been getting over this situation where I was dating somebody, it didn't work out, and I kind of ended it and grieving from that, but walking through it with dignity. It's not easy. But if it weren't for things like outreach calls every day and meetings every week and meditation and prayer, and there's a whole large list of them. And I'm saying this because to people in this room, you know, who are here, you know, residents here, I've been sober for over 9 years. The thing that keeps me going is the daily reprieve. It's daily action. It's not, oh, I'll do step work today and then not in a few days from now. No, no, no. It's every fucking day, every day. Something I got to do in God's will. And I'm really fortunate I have the willingness to do that. Because I didn't have that before. And I'm grateful for these rooms. So thanks.
Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm a grateful member of this community.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi. I wanted to give gratitude to Rabbi and Harriet. Rabbi, I told you this story earlier, but 6 months ago, my 6-year-old daughter didn't want to tell people at her birthday party that I was her mom because I'd been away in prison. And I think I cried all over every staff member in this building about that. But Rabbi in particular told me not to give up on that or trick myself into believing that I was a terrible mother and to be patient. And my mom called me day before yesterday to tell me that my daughter had a classmate whose mother had gone back to jail because she'd gotten a DUI and she'd gotten hurt. And my daughter found her crying at lunch on the playground, and she told her that she didn't like her mommy and that she was really angry and she didn't understand why she'd come back in the first place. And my sweet, beautiful, amazing 6-year-old sat there on her lunch and told this little girl that her mommy had to go away too, and that she lived with her grandparents too, but that her mommy came back and got better, and that her mommy helps people now. And that she believed her mommy could get better because my daughters had, and that everything was gonna be okay. And she went home and told my mom that she helped that little girl and that she felt like her mommy because her mommy helps people. And it's only because of the place that you two have created that I've been able to do the work and continue to be able to work here doing something that makes my daughter proud of me again. And I'm really grateful for that. So thank you.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Last night we had Thanksgiving here. And every year Harriet and I come here for Thanksgiving. Because this is family. And the outpouring of gratitude from everybody here was just amazing. Food, terrific. I mean, a lot of food. Wasn't there a lot of food? Good. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for God's grace. I'm grateful that 30 years ago they hired me. I'm grateful that 22 years ago, the Ziegler School of Rabbinic Studies took me in. I was not exactly number one on any college's hit parade, you know. And I'm grateful for everything that has happened in my life. And that doesn't mean everything's been good. But the grace God has given me has allowed me to appreciate everything. The ups, the downs, the in-betweens. And most of all, you, Harriet. I appreciate your tenacity, your obsessiveness. You're always looking to how to make it one grain of sand better. How you breathed air into Beit Shuvah, and because of that, Brittany could have the experience of her daughter. Because of you, all of us have an experience. In my experience, I love them all. I'm grateful for them all. I don't know if I love them all, but I'm grateful for them all because I'm grateful for all of you. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Elohai Nitzor.
I have felt the fear of uncertainty, and my soul responds, it's heavy, responds to those who curse me. I ask my God to guard my tongue from evil, to speak no lies and no deceit, only what's real. I ask my God to guard my tongue from evil, to speak no lies and no deceit, only what's true, only what's real. Let my God be like a medicine for my soul that has a sickness. Teach me love for me and others. Give me love, give me forgiveness. I ask my God to guard my tongue from evil, to speak no lies and no deceit, only what's real. I ask my God to guard my tongue from evil, to speak no lies and no deceit, only what's true, only what's real. Let me follow your commandments, set me free from this abyss, free my heart with joy and gladness, lead me to your holiness. I ask my God to guard my tongue from evil, to speak no lies and no deceit, only what's real. I ask my God to guard my tongue from evil, to speak no lies and no deceit, only what's true, only what's real. Those who curse me, may my soul be unresponsive. Let it be like dust to war. Please, God, don't let me fall. dust to walk. 'Cause God, don't let me fall.
Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat. Sing a song to Shabbos.
Not yet.
What's the song we need to sing to Shabbos? Good thanks to God. We can't give good thanks to God when the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We can't give good thanks to God when we look at other people as less than. We can't give good thanks to God unless we see ourselves as important, as holy, and that we matter. Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Le'odot Adonai, Uzamer L'Shim HaElyon, Uzamer L'Shim HaElyon. Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Le'odot Adonai, Uzamer L'Shim HaElyon, Uzamer L'Shim HaElyon. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, אמונתך בלילות, לעשות
Let's all get up and dance the Shabbos bride into Lichot Doidi.
Hey
Please turn towards the doorway and welcome the Shabbos bride. Okay, Gablers, come on up and light the Shabbos candles. I always want to give you as many moments as possible. I know your wife, so I know you don't get that many.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. V'shamru Bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את
So we're blessed here by having a lot of people, rabbinic students, come and do internships here. And since my voice seems to be going, and we have a young rabbi here, he's going to be ordained in this coming May. His name is Rob, and Rob has worked here for a year. So I asked him a couple of minutes ago, do you want to do the drosh because my voice is gone? And he said yes. So thank you, Rob.
So before I start, I have to express some gratitude of my own. This internship, which I did last school year, was hands down one of the most formative experiences of my life as an individual and as a rabbi. And part of the reason that it was so powerful for me was that it forced me to do a lot of work on myself, that it forced me to really grapple with a whole bunch of emotions and things from my past that I hadn't really dealt with on a deep level previously. And the background to that is my older brother and I did not have a great relationship growing up. That he was 3 years older, and our relationship essentially was him going off and doing something, and me trying to tag along and do it as well, though never quite to that level. And he would always swat me away. And it turned for a large period of my life into a lingering and festering jealousy and anger. And it wasn't, in fact, until he went off to college and I was in high school that I first started to actually do things that I wanted to do, that I started to figure out my own path. And it wasn't until I went off to college and we were really distant from each other that our relationship actually got better, until the point where it is now, where it's a very good and mutually supportive relationship, where we each have our own fields, where we each have, he's a biomedical scientist and computer programmer, and I'm studying to be a rabbi and training to be a Navy chaplain. So love the Navy chaplain stuff. But so we have very different fields, and that difference, that separation has actually led to us being closer, because it's something where we can be supportive without being competitive. And I'm reminded of this in this week's Torah portion, which is the third week of this really intense saga between Jacob and Esau, where a couple weeks ago, Jacob stole Esau's birthright and his blessing, and then had to run away. And then last week, Jacob is in exile, essentially spending 20 years away from his family. After 20 years away from his family, not communicating or talking with his parents or his brother. And then we get to this week, where they reconcile, where Jacob and Esau finally see each other after 20 years of aggravation and anxiety and stress and all of this buildup. And it's what happens in between that I find so interesting. Jacob gets his name changed. Last week, Jacob got his name changed. Jacob became Israel, Yisrael, he who struggles with God. And there's a theology, there's a philosophy in Judaism that God is not so transcendent, that God is not so distant and removed from everybody, but that rather God is incredibly personal, that God is actually the divine spark, the soul within each of us, that when we say we're created B'Tselem Elohim in the image of God, that it's this notion of God actually giving a piece of God's self into us, into our souls. And that the work then that Jacob did, the struggling with God, the wrestling with God, was actually Jacob wrestling with himself, inwards, internally, changing who he was, wrestling and doing all the work that we do at Beit Shuvah, getting into all of the work that's dirty and messy and that we often do not want to confront. But it's that work which gives Jacob the name change. It's that work which Esau sees when they meet in this week's Torah portion. It's that work that allows Esau not to hit his brother when he sees them, and after the stuff that Jacob pulled, it probably would have been deserved. But it allows Esau to run and cling to his neck, to grab him by the neck in a hug. It's that reconciliation that comes after we do all of the work. It's that reconciliation that we can have as the goal for ourselves when we put in the work that a place like Beit Shuvah demands it of us. But we have to put in the work. We have to be willing to wrestle with the God that is ourselves. We have to be willing and eager to participate in the process of it and to undergo the same type of change that Jacob went through over the last few weeks. And it takes time, right? It takes Jacob 20 years. It may take some of us 20 years. But it's a process that we all have to engage in. Shabbat Shalom.
Not bad for 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes notice? Good. Okay, please rise on page 29 for the Baruch Hu. Please be seated on page 33 as the Shema. To hear, listen, and understand that this wrestling that Rob spoke about is something we all have to do. And only through the wrestling do we make Adonai our God. Only when we can see ourselves, both internally and see the Tselem in another, does God become one. And we become part of the oneness that is the world. Please join in the chant.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
With so much drama in the world today, it's kind of hard making sure that I don't go crazy. See the fires and the shootings right outside of a door, and any minute feels like we're gonna go to war. Yeah, we gotta hold on the best we can and keep on praying that God takes us to that promised land. Or maybe we already there, just gotta clean up our act, cause everything we have within that is a matter of fact. Yeah, sure the president's lame, but that won't stop me from praying, because I gotta maintain and do the best that I can. I will always refrain from adding drugs to my brain, because that stuff's so insane and only causes me pain. Yeah, I just gotta be me, it's God intended it to be, with the oh my God, I messed up, that's so free. I don't care, I just rap like this, cause I love Bait Shooter and Shalom.
יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל
Give it up once more for Max. So we put out the job description for the senior rabbi. And there's a blurb about Beit Shuva. And in it, it says that our Friday night services rock. Right? How could you explain this to a rabbi who's been in a regular congregation? Right? They have to experience it. Right? So, okay, now is the time when we say Kaddish. I ask those who are mourning to please rise. Those who are observing a yard site. And please make sure no one stands alone. If somebody's standing alone, please stand next. As a community, we say Kaddish for the yard sites of Michael Fleischer, Miklos Stark, Paul Rosenthal, Molly Troop, Harold Gorowitz, Sylvia Kalig, Ryan Praver, Bertha Shapiro, Dawn Carroll, Fanny Gershman, Irene Marlowe, Aaron Waxman, Rosaline Bennett, Sidney Sherman, Hyman Fishman, Pauline Ledeen, Irving Schaefer. The year of mourning of Meredith Baskin, Patricia Beckerman, Richard Block, John Cole, Bobby Dorn, Sylvia Feldman, Barbara Hare, Yale Hare, Dwight Keyes, Jody Labov, Rachel Machbitz, Hyman Miller, Brett Nadler, Isaiah Negretti, Dee Dee Quinn, Gene Redstone, David Resnick, Tyler Shamash, Erwin Shapiro, Michael Shapsis, Michael Sayelski, Phyllis Tell, Lester Trackman, Hannah Wilson. Together, Yikadal, V'yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yamah, Divrach, Yirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayei, D'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalah, V'zman Kori, V'imru Amen. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitbar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dikucha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu yasei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens please send comfort to all who mourn, we say. Okay, we got the birthday. Come on up, Danny. You got to read the prayer. Psst. Psst, the prayer. I got it right here. Right? We're all good.
Okay.
See, you've been gone for a while.
I know. I have to review. So start here. Oh, Lord, my God.
O Lord, my God, I cried unto you, and you did heal me. O Lord, you saved me from the peril, kept me alive.
Down here.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hagomel lechayavim, tovot, shigamalnani, kol tov. Thank you.
Yeah,
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who bestows good beyond our deserving, and who has dealt graciously with me.
Together. Mi shigamalcha kol tov, hu yigimalcha kol tov selah. May the one who caused you good always
bestow goodness upon you. Amen. Thank you. Hello, my name is Danny, and I am an addict and a very grateful member of this community. First and foremost, as always, I want to thank actually my huge surprise crew that came tonight. I wasn't really expecting any of these people to be here, but thank you to my wife. It's been 10 years of me being sober and almost just as long of us being together. And you've been there every day, good or bad. And we have a beautiful son at home who is, I hope, sleeping right now. Fortunately, he couldn't make it, or he'd probably be running around and going crazy, but I guess he'd fit in just fine here. To my parents, who, they were here with me from day one. They came to almost every Shabbat service. I lived in some form here, primary, sober, and independent living for about 19 months, so it took me a while to kind of get with it. But they showed up, especially my mom, who, when I was really in trouble, she took the time to kind of find a place for me. And she came here and thought it would be a good place for me. And it worked. So I love you both very much, and I'll always be grateful for you and helping me out at that part of my life. To my brother, my sisters, my extended family, thank you all for being here. It never gets old. I love seeing your faces and just always, again, supporting me from day one. You guys are always here, and it just means so much to me on a day like today. I'm going to ramble a little bit since I'm the only birthday. And first and foremost, Rabbi, what you were talking about in the beginning gave me two thoughts, because I'm an addict and my mind just goes everywhere constantly. Concern for others. Like most addicts, I struggled for that. I think, I didn't really think much about other people during my using days. And so what I found was probably the easiest thing for me to start teaching myself about having concern for others was simply gratitude. It's in a weird way to say this, but it's a selfish way to have concern for others, because I still didn't yet have to think about others. It was still about myself. But I slowly, in being grateful for things in my life, started to realize that if I'm grateful for something, I probably have it a little bit better than someone else in some little way. And so that was kind of my bridge to concern for others. The second thought you gave me, going back to the Declaration of Independence, there's a very famous line in there, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And for me, it's that last part, that pursuit of happiness, kind of got me into a lot of trouble. I think a lot of times growing up that we believe that we should always be happy, and that's just not the case. Life is not happy, and happiness is just some fleeting emotion that comes into our lives when we don't expect it, and sometimes when we do. But always trying to pursue that really got me into a lot of trouble, because I kept wondering, why aren't I happy? Everyone always seems happy. Why aren't I happy? And I just, it's taken me almost 10 years to realize that, but it's not, it's not about happiness. I would much, as great as that is, I'd much rather replace that with something like the pursuit of meaning, trying to find some sort of meaning in your life, and it can be very little. I have numerous things that I find meaning in: my family, my work, my hobbies. It's sometimes they bring me happiness, sometimes they bring me frustration, and that's just how it is. Especially my kids sometimes, but there are other times where he gives me a smile, and it's worth every second. So I think focusing on that and getting away from always thinking you need to be happy is one of the things that really helped me. And lastly, it's been 10 years of identifying as an addict, and I will always identify like that. But I think it's important to remember, especially for anyone that's new, it's not what defines you on the whole. It's a very little piece of who you are. Yeah, I'm an addict, and I'm also a father and a husband and a son and a friend and an employee and a contributing member of society. It's just one piece. And it's important to always remember that piece is in there, but it's also important to remember that there are many other pieces that make you who you are, and there are pieces that make me who I am today. So good Shabbos. Thank you, everyone.
Can I tell the story? So Danny and Allie were in a relationship while they were here. And this was in the old days when it was kind of the Wild West. And they were, should we move out? Should we do this? Should we do that? I said, why move out? Just move into a room upstairs together. And they looked at me and they said, can we? I said, listen, if the two of you can live in in a little room upstairs, your relationship is solid. I'm not sure how what their parents thought of the idea. But that started a whole trend. And somebody else said, well, what about us? And what about us? And, right? You're still there. So are they, really. No, we're not allowed. HIPAA and JACO and, you know, all that stuff. But really what I wanted to say was how much I love seeing you both. And 10 years is a huge amount of time. And you're right. Addict does not define us. What defines you, Danny, is your joy, your meaning, your love, and your connections. And they run pretty deep. I would say you're a success as a human being. I'm very grateful. So we have to now do the Misha Berach with all this joy. We say, Misha Berach Avotenu v'Imatenu Hu Yivarech v'Yirapeh et HaCholim. May the Lord bless our ancestors in the desert at the sea. Bless them in Eretz Yisrael and bless us here in the diaspora. Bring blessings of healing to, please put out the names. Kodesh Baruch Hu, send them complete healing, a healing of the body and a healing of the soul. Let it happen right now, and let us all say,
before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe berach imotenu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Beautiful. Do we not have a great band? Greg Sutton, Luca Gash, David Goldstone, Laura Bagish, and two of the best cantorial soloists, Rachel Freed and Nathan Roth. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks again to Rob for a great Torah Drosh. And we have announcements. So our marathon team, we are the only official Jewish charity of the LA Marathon. We're still taking people to train and donate. We have an adult learning Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Our 2019 gala will be on Sunday, December 20th at the Beverly Hilton. It is our major, January 20th. What did I say? I made a mistake. Oops, I made a mistake. January 20th. It is our major fundraiser. We need to raise $2 million that night. It's a stretch. Allie remembers when $1 million was a stretch. We did 2.2 last year. Right, you remember? Allie was in our development department for many years too. So any auction items that you can get from your favorite haunts, restaurants, stores, etc., deeply, deeply appreciated. And of course, the invitations are in the mail. And if you want to buy a table or donate, we're always open for that. What else do I have to announce? Let me look. Resident Shabbat tomorrow. We run a bereavement process group every other week for parents who've lost a child to addiction. And the next group will be the 28th of November. We want to thank Mom, Dad, Allie, Wyatt, Ryan, Aaron, Sophia, and Bridget, as well as Shelley and Debbie and Patty for 4 sponsorships tonight for Shabbos. We only need 1 more sponsorship for Shabbos. Is there anybody who wants to sponsor Shabbos? Danny. Whoa. Business is good. Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Danny. That's beautiful. And most of all, we want to wish you a great Shabbos. We're going to continue now with Ozzy. They say Oz, I say Ozzy. Ozzy Vazim Rashia. It's the song that was sung in of course, Philadelphia, in Pittsburgh. What it means is, this is my God. Ziva Zimrat. Zamir is song. This is a song to God. God is my Savior. Go ahead. You do it, sir.
V'zimraria vayahili Yeshua Ozi V'zimraria vayahili Yeshua Ozi V'zimraria This half, start with me. Ozi V'zimraria vayahili Yeshua Ozi V'zimraria Yeshua Ozi V'zimraria vayahili Yeshua Ozi V'zimraria Yeshua Ozi V'zimraria Vayehi li Yeshua.
Please rise on page 61 for the Kiddush.
Always do this.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'chata ve'otanu kidasha mikol haminim ve'shabbat kodecha ve'ahava uvrat inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim, l'chaim. Grab a piece of the challah or a piece of somebody who's got a piece of the challah, but
Watch where you grab that piece.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamoitzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
good Shabbos. Residents, let's set up the room.